Musketeers, welcome to the Disneyland Beat, where our toes tap to a Disneyland drum.
And we always whistle while we work.
For the first 20 years of operation, you had to get individual tickets to ride the attractions at Disneyland.
The tickets were labeled with a letter A through E, and A tickets cost the least, and E tickets cost 2 to 3 times more.
E-ticket attractions represented the best of the best Disneyland had to offer, Disney's most extravagant, elaborate, and impressive rides and shows.
Astronaut Sally Ride even described her first trip to space as a real E-ticket ride.
Come with us into the parks as we list and discuss the top 18 e-ticket attractions at both Disneyland and Disney's California Adventure.
Like, subscribe, and stick around.
Disneyland is your land.
Come seek an adventure at your pirates, eh?
Made the jump to Lightspeed.
So what is being a Disneyland e-ticket attraction all about? We came up with 8 defining characteristics of what we think makes an e-ticket attraction.
Number 1, scale and quality. Almost everything Disney does is high quality, but the e-ticket attraction needs to be bigger, pretty massive in scale with a generous budget, providing an impressive and dramatic experience. Number 2, thrill or magical factor. Many of the modern e-ticket attractions have some thrill or serious wonder to them. Number 3, technology. E-ticket attractions often use the best technology the parks can produce with cutting-edge animatronics or motion simulator effects. Number 4, story. These rides usually have some kind of engaging story to them, often using an elaborate queue in place of a longer ride to help tell the story.
Number 5, land headliner, the ride that most people want to ride the most in a particular land. Number 6, capacity. These rides need to be able to process huge crowds quickly. Number 7, ride length. Longer Disney attractions are often considered e-ticket attractions. And 8, popularity. Though there are plenty of exceptions, crowd demand for these rides are usually the greatest in the park, and people visit Disneyland because of these rides. New e-ticket attractions are designed to increase park visitors and ticket value and cost.
No, we don't think every attraction has to meet all of these criteria, but they should meet most of them. Disney hasn't declared what an e-ticket attraction is since 1982, so it's a pretty subjective list that's open to debate.
But after a lot of thought and Disney soul searching, here is our list. The e-ticket attractions, 18 of the Disneyland Resort's best rides, in no particular order.
The first name on our list is the Indiana Jones Temple of the Forbidden Eye. With its incredible immersive scenery, magical effects, and technologically advanced ride vehicles, it's the most popular ride in Adventureland without question.
It has a great story and a whole lot of thrill, and it may boast the most immersive queue in the park, though Galaxy's Edge has arrived to challenge that title. Rides don't need to be long to be an e-ticket attraction. A short, thrilling ride through the stars can leave just as big of an impact on you. Space Mountain in Tomorrowland is just such a ride.
The show building is both beautiful and invigorating. As you descend into the futuristic mountain down into the main dispatch chamber of the ride, your excitement level blasts off. The projections on the lift hill and the sensation of flying through open space, and your imagination.
Of course, some lands seem to be e-ticket powerhouses. New Orleans Square has 2 rides, and both are perfect examples of classic Disneyland e-ticket attractions. Pirates of the Caribbean is a Disneyland treasure and one of the best dark rides in the world.
Pirates of the Caribbean was the most expensive, elaborate, and popular ride when it was built, and it's gained a glorified status in the minds of Disneyland fans and is looked at as one of the top few attractions in the park. It has it all: thrills, story, technology, capacity, ride time, you name it.
Over at DCA is an attraction that opened with the park and has had a major influence on the look, feel, and layout of several of its lands. Grizzly River Run is a mountain forest with streams and waterfalls that you can walk entirely around while visiting 4 different lands at the park. The Grizzly Bear Head of Usumatse is one of the iconic vistas of Disneyland.
And the ride itself is very impressive and fun, with one of the longest tracks of any raft ride ever made and a unique large spinning drop. It also has fairly small ride vehicles for a raft ride, and that seems to give everyone a fun ride with lots of drops and spins as you twist around the immersive boulders.
There are some amazing supporting characters, but we think the real headliner of Frontierland that just edges out the rest to stand a tier above is Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, the heavily themed family coaster that never disappoints and always makes your day better. The wildest ride in the wilderness.
The coaster has some of the best sightlines in the entire park as the track twists and turns around the buttes and canyons and includes 3 dramatic lift hills with animatronics and lots of zany fun. It also is one of the largest capacity roller coasters ever made.
The Disneyland Railroad provides one of the best ride experiences in the park, and it takes a huge amount of resources and space to keep it running.
It of course touches on almost every land in the park and even has its own enclosed dark ride section through the Grand Canyon and even a primeval world.
Whether it be over California or around the world, Soarin' is definitely an e-ticket attraction. The massive screen-based hang gliding ride lifts you far into the air and includes motion, wind, and even smell effects to make your flight experience feel thrilling and real.
The ride also can provide a thrill to riders of all ages. It's a very safe and smooth ride experience. The music is a huge part of this ride that supports its uplifting and exhilarating feeling.
Galaxy's Edge shows us what is likely to be the pattern for new Disney park lands. There must be 2, a master and an apprentice. Rise of the Resistance may be the #1 ranked e-ticket in the park right now. It has a long ride experience with thrill, story, technology, and enormous impressive scale, and it has raised the bar for what a dark ride is.
It combines at least 3 different ride systems during the many stages of the attraction, and it's you in the middle of the action. You feel like an active participant more than a passive observer, and it ends with a thrill.
Critter Country also currently has a clear headliner e-ticket attraction, Splash Mountain, while Winnie the Pooh and the Davy Crockett canoes play more of a supporting role. Winnie the Pooh is housed in the old Country Bear Jamboree Playhouse, and the Country Bears used to be an e-ticket attraction for several years. So it just goes to show that gaining e-ticket status is no guarantee that the ride will be there forever.
Splash Mountain is one of the most heavily themed and decorated water flumes with a big drop ever made. It combines lots of animatronics, music, and story with the thrills of a traditional log mill ride. Soon, Tiana and Louie from Princess and the Frog will be joining the fun on this fan favorite and bringing the ride into New Orleans Square.
In the other half of New Orleans Square, over past the Garden District, is Haunted Mansion, another irreplaceable Disney classic e-ticket attraction. This Disney take on the haunted house ride has stayed relevant and beloved since the day its doors creaked open.
One of the top rides of the resort is the Haunted Mansion, which combines storytelling, magic effects, technology, and beautiful design to create a unique, sophisticated experience that delights audiences of all ages. It's the definition of an e-ticket attraction.
We know this ride is not slated to open until 2023, but we put it on the list for a few reasons. 1, we know it's definitely coming. Construction is well underway. 2, we know what the ride's going to look like because it's already open at Hollywood Studios in Orlando. And 3, it's going to be the first e-ticket attraction in Mickey's Toontown.
The ride has lots of innovative aspects and an enormous budget. It's a feast for the eyes and has so much to look at that it'll take lots of ride-throughs to see it all. It'll really add so much to what Toontown is at Disneyland.
The current headliner attraction of Avengers Campus is Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, though we have had 5 years of audience practice to position the ride as one of the best at DCA. This heavily themed drop tower went from super scary to rockin' out when it changed from Tower of Terror to Guardians. The soundtrack and characters really make this ride fun.
It doesn't hurt that it has the best queue and pre-show in DCA with lots of cool Marvel and Guardians artifacts to look at from Tavon's massive collection. By the time you make it to the gantry lifts, you're totally immersed in the world, and then they take you for a little ride.
The Incredicoaster added story theming and decoration to an already epic roller coaster, California Screamin'. Roller coasters stand out as the e-ticket attractions at most non-Disney amusement and theme parks around the world and country, and this is the biggest coaster that Disney has ever built in the US, at least until Tron opens in Orlando.
The coaster has some epic launches and is designed to have lots of trains running at once. It provides an amazing backdrop for Paradise Bay, and now with the Incredibles overlay, it fits right into Pixar Pier.
The days of this e-ticket attraction may be numbered, but that is really because of its massive scale and ambitious ride system. The partially submerged tunnels of the attraction wind around underneath the Autopia tracks, holding thousands of gallons of water that have to be kept pristine and crystal clear like a swimming pool.
The Finding Nemo overlay has extended the life of this 1959 attraction brought to life under the eye of Walt Disney himself. It was so realistic, a Navy admiral who wrote it on opening day thought the subs actually went underwater. The Finding Nemo overlay features a fun tale and expertly combined projections and practical scenery.
So much of what makes this e-ticket ride is the pre-show. You wind through an amazing space hangar into Hondo Ohnaka's room with these great animatronics and story, and then into the common room of the Millennium Falcon itself.
Then, you get to pilot the Falcon on a mission with some very advanced projection techniques and motion simulation. It's a great ride.
Along with the Disneyland Railroad, this is probably the oldest e-ticket attraction on the list. With the impending plussing of Jungle Cruise, Disney has shown their dedication to improving this ride and keeping it at e-ticket status moving forward into the future.
This ride takes up an enormous amount of resources and space inside the berm, with its river winding around a unique Hollywood jungle that has grown up around it for the last 65 years. It's a one-of-a-kind boat tour with original Imagineering and some of the best attraction timing, sightlines, and scenery on this list.
Radiator Springs Racers changed the entire dynamic of DCA, and it elevated the entire park by being one of the best Disney attractions ever made. It combines story, movie immersion with beloved characters, and thrill in an active way that you get to enjoy and participate in.
It has variety as there are variable elements to the ride, and its quality, epic scale, solid length, and incredible scenery all come together to create a ride that anchors the whole land and in some ways the whole park. It's a can't miss and a one-of-a-kind.
The original Disney Mountain houses one of the most popular rides in all of Disneyland history, the Matterhorn bobsleds. You dip and turn down icy chutes from the top of a Swiss mountain with superlative views of Disneyland until you splash down into the pools at the bottom of the mountain.
There is simply nothing like it. Well, folks, that's our list of the top 18 e-ticket attractions at Disneyland. Thanks for joining us in the parks today.
See you real soon, Mouseketeers.
See you real soon.